your experience, your feelings, your judgment. So it means in order to go for intuition, you must have some experience, prior experience, prior feelings, and you must have some kind of accumulated judgment. We'll see one by one. So rather going towards the rational decision making, gather information and all those stuff, weighted average, and that's it. You have seen, even in your family, you have seen that your father make a quick decision and that decision going to be right because they have experience, they have the judgment, they have the feelings because they pass through that stage. Similarly, the managers, when they have a good amount of experience, they can just decide. They even don't want to waste their time in rationality. They look at the numbers, look at the country's prospects, and they decide, okay, we should establish our company in China or not. So where this intuition is coming from? So there are 5 kinds of intuitive decisions. Decisions are coming from experience, emotions, right, and judgment. So we categorize all these intuitive decision making onto 5 categories. Number 1, evidence based. Number 1 is this experience based, affect initiated based, cognitive based, value based, subconscious, mental process based. So experience based, when you have the experience. Affect initiated based, affections coming from emotions. Cognitive, that deal with your skills, your mental ability, your knowledge. Subconscious, mental process, which you use from your subconsciousness, which you have some kind of like some good feelings is coming from me. For example, you go to these, or you met this person and he inspired you so much, he looks true, he looks faithful, his word of mouth is quite good, and then in subconscious you say that okay, is okay, we should give it a try. It's called subconscious mental process. And the last one is value based, in which you go for ethical or cultural values. All right, in which you see that okay, this is culturally okay for me or not, right? Should I employ a lesbian manager, gay manager over there, or some ethnic group over there or not? Maybe you go through all the stuff, but if some brand is depicted as okay, this is for under abuse stuff, so should we introduce or should we not? Then intuitive decision making comes to play, and that intuitive decision making going to be through value ethics based decision. All right, like in Gulf country, you cannot offer in the business meeting alcohol, because in Gulf country in Islamic countries, they in their culture alcohol is prohibited. So that's going to be ethical and cultural intuitive decision making process. All right, now evidence based management, which means the systematic use of best available evidence to improve management practices. What do we mean by that? Okay, so this company is doing that, we have the evidence from that. When you have a case study, you study the case studies and you find out okay, these practices are going through that, and our competitors or your benchmark company, in that case they did this, and because of that they got huge profits, or they sustain, or they survive, or whatsoever. So you look for evidence. So in this subject I would be sending you a lot of case studies to enhance your evidence based management skills. Okay, then what about the crowdsourcing decision making, which means decision making approach where you solicit ideas and input from a network of people. For example, here in Hartley company, so they announced it, okay, we are having this kind of problem and we need to find a solution. So That person who is going to give us the solution, we are going to give them some prices. So Harshale company arrange contests with cash prize that help the firm find solution to ship candy in warmer climates or summer months. This is called crowdsourcing. So if you focus here, crowd, you are involving a bunch of people in decision making. That is another dimension of making decisions. All right. Now, up till now, what we have talked about different categories of decision making, right? Categories. What type of categories? What categories of decision making gonna be involving people, involving your intuition, involving a rationality. All right. But what about the type of decisions? So there are two types of decisions: structured and programmed. So if something, you know, some situation pops up, whether it's a structured situation or whether it is a unstructured situation. Structured situations, which means straightforward, familiar, easy, and how you address that? Through making policies, routine approach, and that's it. For example, if you come late, what gonna be rules, right? If you absent, what are the rules? So it means situations are structured or programmed, which means they are happening when their chances are happening again and again. All right. In a restaurant company, for example, you make a structure. Okay, if customer complain 4 times for this waiter, you cut his salaries for 3 days salaries, something. Or if this employee is not coming without, or he's absent without any notice for 3 days, 4 days, what should we do? So that is the problem that is habitual, or that is repeatedly in the organization. We call this structured problems, and they're going to be a programmed themes, right? You make procedures, you make rules, and you make policies. That's it. You want to apply for holidays, you want to apply for vacations, you want to apply for, parental application, something, you need to go through some procedures, right? We call this programmed solutions for structured problems. But there are some unstructured problem as well. Unstructured, which you did not even imagine, which are new, unique, unusual. So can you make policies for this one? It is hard. Can you make rules? It is hard. Can you make procedures? It is hard. Because that is going to be, sorry about it. So that is going to be totally unstructured. For example, look at that in Turkey. The earthquake came and huge losses over there. So can you make up, a procedures and rules before it is happening? No, it is hard. That is a unique and non-recurring and involve custom-made solutions. So those who are found in affected areas, they are okay if they miss the, this deadlines or something. In the corona, you have seen that in COVID, if that area is affected, so that person can go for online work. If that area is safe, you can come to the office and do the work, because this is a unique situation, right? Similarly, whether to build new facility in China or not, unstructured problem, because that is unique and it's non-recurring, right? So for unique problems, there's going to be a unique solution. For recurring problem, there's going to be a programmed decision making through what? Policies, procedures, right? So now let's talk about the level of this unstructured and structured programming situations in the level of management. So you see programmed solutions, programmed decisions, non-programmed decisions. So mostly programs are for lower level managers. Unstructured programs are for upper level management. When you talk about the type of problem is normal, here is unique problem, repetitive problem, recurring problem, non-recurring problem. Frequency, repetitive, this is unusual. Information, everything is available because we have past history as well, but here we don't have information, very incomplete information or confused information. Goal, here the goal is specific, how we deal with the person who is absent from 3 consecutive days, but here it's a vague, right? Time frame, short decision making because you go to the rules, books of rules, and then you make a decision. But here you make a long decisions, long term, long time for the decision making. Solution, you make procedures, policies, rules, and here high level of judgment and creativity, intuitive, and all those stuff involved. All right. So the management styles. Researchers had identified 4 different individual decision-making styles based on 2 dimensions: the way you are thinking and how much is the confusion you can tolerate. So let's just talk about this, understand these 4 through a matrix here. So you see here, tolerance of ambiguity from low to high, and here way of thinking, rational and intuitiveness. So if your tolerance for ambiguity is low, you don't want any confusion, everything must be clear, and you want rationality as well, then you must go through directive style, mostly lower level managers. If you come late, if you couldn't deliver on time, right, this gonna be the punishment. That's it. If you outperform, we are going to give you 3 months salary bonus, directive style. If level of intuitiveness is high and ambiguity is, tolerance for ambiguity is also low,